Hello folks, it's me. This is the segment of the channel where I can basically say what I want. If you think I'm going to talk about heavy metal music, you're mistaken. As we all know, we're going through this pandemic at the moment, and it's gone really nuts here, especially last week. They're even fighting in the shops, and it was just getting out of order. Now they've sort of restored some order, and it's a lot better. But we are going through a pandemic, and it looks like it's going to be a bad one. And in the UK at the moment, we are under quarantine. We are not full lockdown. We're sort of partial lockdown. But given what's happening in Spain and Italy, I think we'll be on full lockdown in a couple of weeks. Because we're under this isolation, obviously I've been listening to a lot of music. And Metal Mickey, bless him, we were having a chat on Facebook last night about videos like the films, old English films, and I showed a couple on Facebook. Metal Mickey, he got his collection out, and he showed it last night. He has some great stuff there, especially the Saxondale. That was a classic. But I'm going to show a couple he showed last night, and I'm going to show a one he didn't show last night, because I've got a personal connection with that one, but I'll leave that one to later. Yeah, please obey the government and stay in, and we should be over this hopefully in not too distant future. I've got myself prepared. This is where you thankful that you collect records, and I've got over thousands and thousands to listen to. I've already started sorting them out. It's just getting nuts. But what do you do when you're stuck inside all day? Yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to show the DVDs. The Americans or anywhere else out in England won't know these. This was what started this all off. This is this series. This is a British TV series that aired in 2000, I think, or around about that time. And they won the lottery, and it's incredibly funny. That girl there, she played Virginia, and she's so funny. I think she's from Birmingham. Her name's Sarah Smart, but she's so funny in this. This is guaranteed to make you laugh. And you can pick these up for a couple of quid. They're not expensive. None of this, well, some of it could be, say, a fiver I'm about to show you. But none of this is really expensive. But yeah, this was so funny, and I was in at the time, and it just literally raised me through the roof because I was going through some bad stuff. But yeah, it's brilliant. If you're in England and you pick it up for a couple of quid, do so. And Peter Davison, he used to play Doctor Who as well. He was one of the doctors. But it's well recommended, great viewing. Now the next one I'm going to show is Marvel. Now I'm not a big fan of this Transformer and Marvel. Because we all know it's basically to sell toys, and what the characters are crap basically, especially in Transformers, and they have those little name tags identifying them, so the kids can go down the shop and buy them. I don't like that sort of stuff. But one Marvel I do love, and Ryan Reynolds is in it, a Canadian like my good friend Greg, is Deadpool. I can't get enough of this. Also, it's got Marina Baccarin in it. That's another plus. And you get to sort of see her, let's say you see her like every science-fi nerd wants to see her. She's absolutely brilliant. But anything with Ryan Reynolds, I'm a massive fan. And I've got part 2, which is just as good as well. Again, these only cost, ignore the price. When you buy a load of stuff from a famous record shop in England, I sometimes treat myself to a DVD. But Deadpool, I want things to make me laugh at the moment. I don't want things to depress me in these times, and this is guaranteed of a laugh, especially this one. It is so funny, and this one is equally as funny as well. Check out the old lady who's blind in it as well. If that don't make you laugh, nothing will. The next one you will know all over the world. I've been watching this series since it came out, and I absolutely love it. But I warn you now, it's an 18 certificate, it's adults only, because there is scenes of nudity and gore and stuff. Well, not too much gore, but I just enjoyed it. With Spartacus, this is not the Kirk Douglas film. This was I think it was Australia or New Zealand series on TV, and I think this was shown all over the world. And I've got the whole lot. I haven't watched them yet because it was still on TV when I bought them. Plus, I got all 4 for a couple of quid. That's why I bought them. So that's why I haven't watched them. But I will give them a watch. They're really, really good. And it's about the gladiators and this guy who was fighting for truth and justice in Roman times. But it's seriously, seriously good stuff. And well recommended me watching it. Now, next one is what Metal Mickey did hold up. And this one is set in Manchester with Robbie Coltrane. He was in James Bond. He's been in Harry Potter franchise, which I've never watched and I never will. But he played Hagrid if you're an American or anywhere else in the world and you don't recognise him. But this is what he was doing before Harry Potter. And he was a criminal psychologist who gambled and drank a lot. Now, I was in Manchester when they were filming this. And there was one episode was actually filmed outside a friend of mine's auntie's house or a relative's house, and it was the one where Albie was. I think it was bombing everywhere, but there was a connection with this as well, so that was great. But this was actually being filmed in Manchester when I was there, and it's a great series. I'm not sure. I'm going to stick my neck out. I think they made an American version of this. I may be wrong. Or something like, the Americans did a copycat. I don't know. You may know who I'm talking about, but this is the English cracker, and it's absolutely brilliant. I've got the whole lot. I think the complete collection. Jimmy McGovern, Metal Mickey showed a lot of his stuff. He can't beat his work. It's absolutely brilliant. I personally can't stand middle class drama, and we get tons of it in the UK, and it's crap. And it's about middle class people who are safe financially, and it's just absolutely appallingly bad. I was brought up with stuff like Boys from the Black stuff, Our Wiedersehen Pet, and that sort of stuff, the working class drama, nitty gritty. But yeah, this is absolutely brilliant. I'm just trying to think. I'm sure there was an American version of it, but I can't remember who played Fitz' character. But it was great, fantastic. The next one was a British sort of. This was, you remember Jurassic Park when them films were doing around the run. I've got the full collection of Primeval. I like this series. Plus the fact I think it was remade by Canada Greg, so you might have heard of this one. Whether they distributed it in America, I don't know. But this is the English version, and it's just really good at the time. You got the massive dinosaurs, and there was this bunch of secret organisation dinosaur hunting, and they were coming through like a wormhole or something, or a loop, and they had to shut it down to send the dinosaurs to which era they came back from. But I've got the whole set of this. I watched these. This is great sort of Saturday afternoon viewing, especially now I've got no football to watch. But this is Primeval. Absolutely good stuff. Really good. We're getting near the end now. The next one is now this was the start of it. I'll tell you the story. They did the Sherlock Holmes stuff. This is the British one. Now I know this for a fact. So I think the American one is a tad better. Now the American one was called Elementary, and I still watch it on Pick every night of the week because they're repeating all the series. I just like Johnny Lee Miller. I think he's a fantastic Sherlock Holmes. The only thing is, his assistant's a female, Lucy Liu. She used to be in Charlie's Angels. So, but the British one, we did one with Benedict Cumberbatch. It's good, but I just like to think the American one is slightly better. But I've got season 1 to 4 of that I should be watching. A bit of Sherlock. And you just can't beat it. The Moriarty guy, he was brilliant, but that Benedict Cumberbatch, he played that Doctor Strange in Marvel franchise, and that's Martin Freeman, who played one of the hobbits in the second lot of Lord of the Rings. Is it Bilbo? Who played one of the father of the Hobbit in the first? I believe he was a Hobbit in the second lot of Lord of the Rings, so that's where he became famous. and he was also in the American series of Fargo, which I think was in the first series that they made the series of it. But that's Benedict Cumberbatch. I've got 4 of them, which is them, and I should be giving them a watch if this thing carries on. But the next one, it is the classic. To me, it's probably the best British TV. I'm going to stick my neck out, Mickey, but I think you'll agree. I'm sure he will. To me, this is one of the best British TV programmes ever made, and that's this one. I've got seasons 1 to 4 of Shameless. This is the best lot, because when it got a bit older, it got a bit not so good. But this was when it was unpolitically correct. It was set in a council estate, because I spent most of my life in council estates in Manchester. And again, I've got a connection to this series, because I believe it was filmed in Stockport, because we was delivering some stuff to a factory and we couldn't go in, we had to wait. And we saw all these TV cameras and, you know, all the paraphernalia you get about TV, and apparently they were filming a Shameless sequence in a disused warehouse, and they were filming for this, so we was quite chuffed. I can't remember I used to know the ep it was in, but I can't remember. I think I've got it as well. As soon as I find it, I've just slipped my memory. But yeah, to me, this was absolutely killer. Now, Americans, they did do a copycat version of this. I'm not being that they did make their own version of it. I lasted for about half of one episode. But this is gritty UK council estates, you know, and it was Frank Gallagher. He was so funny in it. You know, it was a lot of drugs and the humour. You've got to live on a council estate to understand it. This has been a firm favourite of mine, and if things get really bad, this will be going straight on, because this will make me laugh straight away. It's just so funny. It has the tears running down your eyes. Amazing TV programme. Again, not for the children. It's got an 18 certificate. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed it thus far. The next one is a Piece de la Resistance. The Americans will definitely know this, because I bought this cheap, and I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. I've been saving it for case of, you know, and this is a good enough opportunity, and this one is definitely going to get box set in the next week or so. No, it's not Game of Thrones. It's something I think a bit better, actually, and that's this thing, and it was Justified. Now, this came out again when I was sick, and I bought the whole set. It came very cheap. I can't remember if it was eBay or Amazon, but it was so cheap, rather than buy you know, the odd season here and there, I bought the whole collection. It's no longer made anymore, but it's what I see. There's 78 episodes on here, and what I've seen of it is really, really good. The Americans, it's like Deep South, Kentucky. Is that a Deep South? I may be wrong. I don't want to insult any of my American brothers, but I'm sure it's the Deep South, Kentucky, that area. And he's like a cop. And it was the other guy I liked. He was a criminal, like he was an explosive expert. But it was just I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And I must admit, I saw a couple of seasons of it, but I didn't see it all. And I think it was cancelled. But this is, to me, one of the best things. I mean, we've got the Breaking Bad, and you've got all the American TV programs, and a lot of it's very, very good. But this, to me, was a pip above the rest of them, and I'm definitely going to start watching this week. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little segment. If you haven't, stuck it in comments. I will get back on the heavy metal soon. Please, folks, do as you're told and stay in. I mean, when you think about it, it's a record collector's dream, isn't it? Stay in and listen to music all day if you can. I know some people have to work, but if you've not working because you're being quarantined, man, don't moan about it. I'm in heaven. Listen to me music all day. I could dream about this. But just to stay safe and love each other, and look after your neighbours if you've got any elderly residents, and generally, stay safe. And I will see you next time. This is me, Steve. Be kind, and see you, folks. Bye.